All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jonathan Hart. I'm one of the procurement counselors with CT Apex. We will now begin our webinar this morning. Welcome. Today's webinar is Cybersecurity, a comprehensive guide to protecting your data. And I'm here with my co-host, Kendi Tran. So, who are we? Connecticut Apex is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense, in addition to funds from the State of Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. We are hosted by the Southeastern Connecticut Enterprise Region, also known as Sector, and we're here to offer government contracting and marketing technical assistance to businesses interested in selling their products and services to the federal, state, and local governments. We're here to help Connecticut businesses compete in the government marketplace. As you can see through our map, we are strategically located throughout the state of Connecticut. Our main office is headquartered in Groton, Connecticut, but we also are in Fairfield County, New Haven County, Hartford, and New London County. So we're here to assist anyone throughout the state, no matter where they are. So, what is CT Apex? So we're here to assist you in government marketplace. So CT Apex offers a litany of services at no cost to the individual business. So we're here as a resource to help understanding federal, state, and local government contracting laws, policies, and procedures. We're also here to help you with socioeconomic certifications through the SBA, Connecticut Department of Acquired Services, DBE, and Department of Transportation. We also provide a lot of other services that you can see, and all these are at no cost to you. And as you can tell from this webinar, we are focusing more on cybersecurity and getting small businesses up to date with the CMMC compliance and understanding what that entails. So here are some of our valued resource partners located throughout the state of Connecticut, as well as the US. Each one of these valuable resources partners are part of the government contracting ecosystem. They all play an important role in assisting our clients in various stages of their business life cycle. As a procurement counselor, my goal is to educate, but also advise them on opportunities that are directly available to them. And I'd like to especially give a shout out to Project Spectrum, located in the top right of the slide, who is an extremely valuable resource, and without them, this training would not be possible. They are a great resource that provides comprehensive information regarding cybersecurity, and to follow up with them, I'm going to give you a little bit of breakdown of what they are and provide some sort of contact information. So Project Spectrum is an all-inclusive learning platform that provides resources, tools, training materials, and videos about cybersecurity best practices. Project Spectrum is focused on preparing companies for Cybersecurity Maturity Model Certification, or CMMC. The CMMC aims to improve cybersecurity practices in the defense industrial base, providing assessment guidelines and certification with security standards such as NIST SP 800-171 and NIST SP 800-172. So what is their mission? Project Spectrum's goal is to improve cybersecurity readiness, strength, and compliance for small businesses, manufacturers, government agencies, universities, and schools. Their Project Spectrum cybersecurity courses are backed by the Department of Defense and help prepare businesses for CMMC evaluation. So what are their resources? Well, they provide a full scope training course focused on CUI for contractors, plan of actions and milestones, CMMC Level 1, and System Security Plan fundamentals. They have 26 micro courses that provide training on core CMMC controls, DIY tools enabling companies to conduct self-assessments against NIST and CMMC standards. This is something that's very vital for a lot of companies that are starting to work on those certifications. and they provide strategic partnerships with the DoD Mentor Protege Program. They also have community outreach and engagements and online forums that are free to access. And one of the events that are coming up that I would like more people to know what's going on and hopefully sign up for is on January 30th at 1 p.m. You can join Project Spectrum and their host, Risk Ostapowicz, for an in-depth discussion on cybersecurity with former NSA Deputy Director George Barnes. Mr. Barnes will leverage his unique and deep experience to discuss the cyber threat environment, the targeting of U.S. defense industrial base, and how the national security community works to defend our assets across cyberspace. They have a general email that you can click on and send, which is outreach@projectspectrum.io, or you can visit their website at projectspectrum.io and sort of get an in-depth knowledge on what they have to offer and reach out and set up a meeting with them. So just before we start watching the training aids that we've provided for you, I wanted to add a little bit of background information for our viewers here so that they have an understanding of why cybersecurity is important and how it responds in regards to small businesses. So unfortunately, 50% of small business to medium-sized businesses have been victims of cyber attacks over 60% of those attacks go out of business. And small businesses are the most vulnerable to cyber attacks because they're the least prepared to deal with these incidents. And for cyber criminals, they are low-hanging fruit in large quantities. So, and I just want to reiterate the importance of cybersecurity because a data breach can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to recover, and your brand can be tarnished within a matter of days due to a breach. And what people fail to grasp sometimes is small businesses are just a stepping stone to larger organizations. So our adversaries know that small businesses are the stepping stones and the beginning blocks of a lot of the industrial-based chain. So if they can penetrate those companies, they have a better chance of getting into the larger organizations. So your tier one primary contractors and things like that, so that they can get into more secure information and understand how to be a bigger nuisance to the US as a whole. And so with cyber attacks, 43% target small businesses and only 14% are properly prepared. And 6 out of 10 end up doing nothing at all and then just wait for things to happen. And a lot of the things when it comes to cyber attacks is 95% of it is human error due to humans doing something that they shouldn't do, or they click on something they made a mistake with or whatever. And then every day over 30,000 websites are hacked. And so this training here is to help make sure that you're not one of those. So today's agenda, with some background information covered, I'd like to move on with the rest of the agenda for today's webinar. We will be showing 3 training videos that provide some vital foundational information regarding cybersecurity. We will first cover some cybersecurity acronyms, then how to create a comprehensive online cybersecurity plan, and then we're going to transition to how to secure remote work and building your cybersecurity plan. We will then have a questions and answers portion, and we will then conclude today's webinar. So we will now play the first instructional video regarding cybersecurity key acronyms.
In today's hectic digital environment, cybersecurity acronyms has become an essential part of every organization. But for those just starting, or even for seasoned professionals, it can feel like learning a new language. These acronyms are more than just jargon. They represent vital tools for professionals to communicate effectively, understand industry standards, and stay updated on threats and technologies. Mastery of these acronyms allows for accurate interpretation of technical documents, collaboration, and compliance with regulations. Although terms like MFA, DDoS, IDS, CMMC, and VPN are undoubtedly familiar to you, do you actually know what they mean? There are numerous sub-disciplines in this intricate topic, and each has its own set of acronyms. The main objective of this informative video, Cybersecurity Acronyms, is to provide viewers the confidence and information they need to accurately understand and use the most significant acronyms in the cybersecurity industry. The goal is to simplify technical jargon, which often impedes understanding and constructive industrial collaboration. You should be able to comprehend cybersecurity acronyms after watching this video, which will make it easier for you to comprehend technical material, take part in informed discussions, and conduct security plans more accurately. It should also improve participants' professional capacities by guaranteeing that they can navigate the cybersecurity landscape with competence and clarity. We will include links to resources at the conclusion for a variety of cybersecurity acronyms. Now, let's get started.
Welcome to Project Spectrum's informational video entitled Cybersecurity Acronyms, a Comprehensive Guide. In the current digital era, cybersecurity is more essential than ever. It is especially important to comprehend the terminology and acronyms used in the profession in order to operate efficiently. Acronyms related to cybersecurity are considered shorthand for important procedures, standards, and technology that are used to protect information systems. Here is an overview of a few basic acronyms every cybersecurity professional should know. Acronyms of cybersecurity. MFA Multi-Factor Authentication. MFA is a security mechanism that requires users to provide multiple forms of identification, for instance a password and a fingerprint, to access a system or resource. By adding layers of security, MFA reduces the likelihood of unauthorized access, even if one form of authentication, like a password, is compromised. IDS Intrusion Detection System. An IDS is a monitoring system that inspects network traffic for suspicious activity and issues alerts when such activity is detected. Unlike IPS, intrusion prevention systems, IDS systems do not take action to prevent the attack, but rather inform administrators of potential security issues. CM, Security Information and Event Management. CM systems collect, analyze, and aggregate security event data from across an organization's IT environment to provide real-time insights into security incidents. CM tools help identify, analyze, and respond to potential security threats by correlating data from various sources, enabling faster incident detection and response. VPN Virtual Private Network. A VPN creates a secure encrypted tunnel for transmitting data over public or shared networks like the Internet. VPNs protect the confidentiality and integrity of data in transit, allowing users to browse the web securely and remotely access corporate networks without exposing their traffic to eavesdroppers. APT Advanced Persistent Threat. An APT is a prolonged and targeted cyber attack where an unauthorized user gains access to a network and remains undetected for an extended period. The objective is to steal sensitive data or surveil systems over time, rather than causing immediate damage. APTs are usually sophisticated and often backed by state-sponsored or highly organized groups. GDPR General Data Protection Regulation. GDPR is a regulation enforced by the European Union that governs the collection, storage, and use of personal data for EU citizens. The regulation aims to protect individuals' privacy and gives them control over their personal data. It mandates strict guidelines for how organizations manage data, with significant penalties for non-compliance. DOS, denial of service. A DOS attack is a type of cyber attack where an attacker aims to make a system, service, or network unavailable by overwhelming it with a flood of illegitimate requests. By exhausting the target's resources, for instance, bandwidth or memory, DOS attacks prevent legitimate users from accessing services. DDoS, distributed denial of service. A DDoS attack is a type of cyber attack where multiple compromised systems, often part of a botnet, flood a target, such as a server or network, with traffic to exhaust its resources. Like a DOS attack, the goal is to overwhelm the target, making it unavailable to legitimate users. The distributed aspect refers to the attack being launched from multiple sources, making it harder to stop. DLP, or data loss prevention, refers to a set of tools and strategies designed to prevent sensitive information from being lost, misused, or accessed by unauthorized users. It ensures that sensitive data, for example, intellectual property or customer data, does not leave the corporate network. This helps prevent leaks due to breaches, insider threats, or even accidental sharing. EDR, or Endpoint Detection and Response, is a cybersecurity solution that continuously monitors and collects data from endpoint devices, such as laptops and smartphones, to detect, analyze, and respond to potential threats in real time. EDR tools help identify suspicious activities on endpoints, enabling rapid incident response to mitigate potential breaches. IAM, or Identity and Access Management, refers to the framework and technologies for managing digital identities and controlling access to resources within an organization. It ensures that only the right individuals have access to the right resources for the right reasons. IAM solutions manage user identities, authentication, and access rights, enhancing security and compliance. WAF, or Web Application Firewall, is a security solution that protects web applications by monitoring, filtering, and blocking HTTP and HTTPS traffic to and from the web application. It prevents common web-based attacks such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, and others by examining and blocking malicious traffic targeting web applications. AV, which stands for antivirus, is software designed to detect, prevent, and remove malicious software like viruses, worms, and trojans. AV solutions scan files and systems for known threats and provide protection by quarantining or deleting harmful files to prevent system infections. Although these acronyms only make up a small portion of the jargon used in cybersecurity, they serve as the foundation for the ideas, principles, and techniques that are employed to protect users, systems, and data from a variety of cyber threats. You'll be better able to negotiate the intricacies of cybersecurity and keep ahead of emerging dangers if you get familiar with them. Cybersecurity acronym scenarios. In this segment, we'll explore 3 real-world scenarios where a company faced challenges due to common cybersecurity acronyms like VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network, IDS, or Intrusion Detection System, and DOS, Denial of Service. Each scenario shows how misunderstanding or correctly utilizing these acronyms can either create a problem or lead to a swift solution. Let's dive into these real-world cybersecurity challenges and see how they were resolved. Incorrect use of VPN, Virtual Private Network. A mid-sized company instructed employees to use a VPN when working remotely. However, employees misunderstood the term and thought it simply referred to any internet connection that was password protected, rather than a proper virtual private network. As a result, employees were using public Wi-Fi with basic security features, like password-protected Wi-Fi at coffee shops, without actual VPN encryption. This exposed sensitive company data to potential threats, as their traffic was unprotected. Once the company realized the misunderstanding, they conducted mandatory cybersecurity training for all employees, explaining the difference between password-protected networks and a proper VPN. They also partnered with a VPN provider to ensure all employees had access to secure VPN services, making it easier for them to connect securely while working remotely. Additionally, they updated their internal policies to enforce the mandatory use of VPNs for remote access to company resources. Misunderstanding IDS, intrusion detection system. In another case, a financial services company implemented what they thought was an IDS, intrusion detection system, but instead was using a simple firewall with limited logging capabilities. The IT team mistakenly believed that the firewall would provide the same protection and monitoring as a full-fledged IDS. As a result, several security breaches went undetected for months, leading to the loss of sensitive customer data. After discovering the mistake during a security audit, the company immediately upgraded its systems and implemented a proper IDS solution with real-time monitoring and alerting capabilities. The IT team received additional training on cybersecurity tools and acronyms to avoid further confusion. The company also strengthened its incident response plan, ensuring breaches could be quickly detected and mitigated in the future. DOS attack. In the middle of a highly anticipated sale, an e-commerce company experienced a sudden spike in traffic. At first, they thought it was just high customer demand, but the website quickly became unreachable. It turns out they were the target of a DOS, denial of service, attack. The DOS attack overwhelms the system by flooding it with traffic, making it impossible for legitimate users to access the service. The company's website was bombarded with junk requests, crashing their servers during a critical business period. The company's cybersecurity team quickly identified the attack and took immediate action. They rerouted traffic through a CDN, content delivery network, with built-in DDoS, distributed denial of service protection, temporarily blocking the malicious traffic while keeping the site accessible to legitimate users. Additionally, they adjusted firewall settings to filter out unwanted traffic. In these cases, the companies addressed the misunderstandings through better training, proper tool implementation, and updated cybersecurity policies, ensuring that employees had both the knowledge and tools necessary for effective protection. Summary. In this guide, we explored the critical role that cybersecurity acronyms play in simplifying communication and enhancing the effectiveness of security measures. As cybersecurity continues to evolve, so too will the acronyms that shape it. Understanding and using these terms effectively will not only improve your communication, but also help you make better decisions and respond faster to threats. So whether you're a beginner or an expert, remember that mastering the language of cybersecurity acronyms is key to staying ahead in this ever-changing field. Thanks for joining us, and stay secure. For more information, please see our website projectspectrum.io.
What an informative video. I would like to reiterate a few key takeaways that I believe are beneficial to you, the viewers. So some of the acronyms that we discussed that are important, I think, is MFA, which is multi-factor identification, IDS, which is intrusion detection system, VPN, virtual private network, and DOS, which is denial of service. So like the video said, MFA, multi-factor identification, reduces unauthorized access to your system so that you have multiple barriers to potential threats. IDS, which is your intrusion detection system, is just a monitoring system that lets you know of potential security issues. It won't stop it, but it will inform you that something's going on so that you can initiate your proper response. VPN, virtual private network, is your protect your information while in transit. So when you're not using your home or your office, safety, security, and that network, this helps make sure that your information is protected and obscured to potential threats. Denial of service or DOS attack is when your system is sent with a litany of either bot or human-based requests that just overwhelm the system, causing normal visitors to your system unable to answer or access your information and user services. And like I said, with the key acronyms, some of the scenarios I want to expand on just so that it really resonates with you, the viewers, just because of how frequent they can be are the following. So incorrect VPN. So like they said, using public Wi-Fi without understanding what a VPN can do and what it does. So having the proper security training when it comes to using public Wi-Fi, using VPNs is something that is vital to your cybersecurity safety. When it comes to intrusion detection system, like they said, the IT department thought this basic firewall was going to be enough to protect them, when in reality, you need to have multiple levels of safety and security in order to make sure that threats can be identified and dealt with appropriately without causing an issue with your system. And then the DOS attack, where your system is overwhelmed either by bot or human-led requests, and it's usually during a critical period, either during like a holiday season, a sale, or just general, right before a deadline, and it causes delays where the intended audience that you're trying to get to visit your website, user resources, are unable to and have to then go somewhere else. I will now pass this over to my co-host, Kendi. We'll talk about building a comprehensive online security plan.
Welcome to the Project Spectrum Securing Your Digital World, building a comprehensive online cybersecurity plan informational video. In today's interconnected digital world, protecting your online presence has never been more crucial. Every click, every transaction, and every piece of data you share online can potentially expose you to cyber threats. Whether you're an individual or a business, the absence of a solid cybersecurity strategy can result in devastating consequences, from identity theft to financial losses and reputational damage. In this video, we'll explore the dangers of poor online security and provide practical steps to create a robust online cybersecurity plan. Imagine this. You're going about your daily online tasks, whether shopping, social networking, or working. Suddenly, without warning, your sensitive data is intercepted by a hacker lurking in the shadows. This is the harsh reality many face when they lack proper online security measures. Let's start by exploring the specific dangers of neglecting online cybersecurity. Online security threats come in many forms, and all it takes is one mistake for attackers to exploit your vulnerabilities. Here are the most common dangers associated with weak online security measures. Phishing attacks. Malicious actors disguise themselves as legitimate entities, tricking you into sharing sensitive information, such as passwords or credit card details. Identity theft. Personal information like social security numbers, bank account details, and addresses can be stolen and used to impersonate you or drain your accounts. Data breaches. Without proper safeguards, hackers can gain unauthorized access to your systems and expose sensitive information, causing financial and reputational harm. Malware and ransomware. Cybercriminals use malicious software to infiltrate your system, steal your data, or lock you out until a ransom is paid. Unsecured networks. Many users still access the internet via unprotected public Wi-Fi, leaving their devices vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks, where hackers can intercept communication between the user and the network. The good news is that there are several proven strategies to protect your digital life from cyber threats. Let's take a closer look at the most effective online cybersecurity practices you can implement immediately. Step 1. Secure your accounts. Use strong, unique passwords for every account, and never reuse the same password across multiple platforms. Consider using a password manager to generate and store complex passwords. In addition, enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, wherever possible, which provides an extra layer of security by requiring an additional verification method, like a fingerprint scan or a code sent to your phone. Step 2. Protect your devices. Ensure that your devices, whether they are laptops, smartphones, or tablets, have the latest security software installed. Use encryption to safeguard your sensitive data. Always enable firewalls and antivirus software to defend against malware and viruses. Step 3. Be cautious online. Avoid clicking on suspicious links, downloading attachments from unknown senders, or providing personal information unless you're certain it's a legitimate request. Be especially careful when using public Wi-Fi networks, which are often unsecured. Step 4. Keep software up to date. Regularly updating your operating systems and apps ensures that any security vulnerabilities are patched before attackers can exploit them. Set your devices to update automatically whenever possible. While the best practices we just discussed are essential, the foundation of strong online security is a well-crafted cybersecurity plan. Whether you're an individual or an organization, creating a structured plan helps ensure that your digital activities remain secure. Here's how to build a comprehensive online cybersecurity plan. Step 1. Identify your assets. Begin by identifying what needs protection. This includes personal data, financial records, intellectual property, and any online accounts. Knowing what you're protecting helps prioritize the right security measures. Step 2. Assess vulnerabilities. Once you've identified your assets, conduct an assessment to determine where your biggest vulnerabilities lie. For individuals, this may include weak passwords, outdated software, or the use of unsecured networks. For businesses, it could involve untrained employees or insufficient encryption protocols. Step 3. Define security measures. Based on your vulnerabilities, put protective measures in place. This could mean requiring MFA for sensitive accounts, encrypting all communication, or ensuring regular employee training on cybersecurity practices. Step 4. Monitor and review. Cybersecurity isn't a one-time task. Continuously monitor your systems for potential threats. Keep up with the latest cybersecurity trends, and regularly review and update your plan as new risks emerge. Let's explore some tools you can begin using today to protect your online presence. These tools are essential for both individuals and businesses striving to enhance their cybersecurity. Firewall. A firewall acts as a barrier between your device and potential threats by monitoring and controlling incoming and outgoing traffic based on security rules. Virtual Private Network, VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet connection, making it difficult for hackers to intercept your data, even when you're connected to public Wi-Fi. Password Manager. A password manager helps generate and store strong, unique passwords for each of your accounts, reducing the chances of a breach caused by weak or reused passwords. Antivirus and anti-malware software. Use reputable antivirus and anti-malware software to scan your devices regularly and protect against various forms of malware. Beyond the use of tools and best practices, cybersecurity awareness is key. Most breaches occur due to human error, whether it's falling victim to phishing scams or accidentally downloading malicious attachments. This is why educating yourself and your team on common cyber threats and how to avoid them is a critical part of your cybersecurity plan. As the digital landscape continues to evolve, so do the threats we face. By taking proactive steps, you can protect yourself and your organization from potential cyber attacks. Remember, online security isn't just about technology. It's about adopting the right habits, using the right tools, and staying informed. By creating a comprehensive cybersecurity plan, you're taking control of your online safety. Stay vigilant, stay informed, and make cybersecurity an integral part of your digital life.
For more information, please visit our website.
Thank you, Jonathan, for handing that off to me. Now we will go over a recap of building a comprehensive online cybersecurity plan. So now why do we need a cybersecurity plan? The potential risks include identity theft, financial loss, and reputational loss. So what are the common dangers associated with cyber attacks? Several types of cyber threats pose significant risks to both individuals and organizations. Phishing attacks, these are deceptive attempts to trick the user into disclosing sensitive information such as credit card numbers or personal identification details by masquerading as legitimate communications. Identity theft. This occurs when cyber criminals steal personal information, including social security numbers, bank account details, and other confidential data with the intent to commit fraud or other illegal activities. Data breaches. A data breach happens when an attacker gains unauthorized access to a device or network, allowing them to steal or manipulate sensitive information stored on the compromised systems. Ransomware and malware. These types of malicious softwares are designed to infect devices, encrypt the data, and lock users out of their systems. Cyber criminals then demand a ransom payment in exchange for restoring access to the compromised files or systems. So how can you protect yourself from cyber attacks? Secure your accounts. Always use strong, unique passwords for each account, incorporating a mix of numbers, letters, and special characters. Enable multi-factor authentication (MFA) wherever possible for added security. Consider a password manager. A password manager is a valuable tool for securing, storing, and managing your passwords, reducing the temptation to reuse them across multiple sites. Keep your software updated. Regularly update your devices with the latest software patches and firmware updates. Additionally, ensure that firewalls and antiviruses tools are enabled and actively protecting your systems. Exercise caution. Always exercise vigilantly when browsing online. Avoid clicking on links or downloading attachments from unknown or untrusted sources, especially on public Wi-Fi. So, the steps to create a comprehensive cybersecurity plan. Identify your critical assets. Start by identifying the assets that need protection, including sensitive data, systems, and infrastructure. Assess vulnerabilities. Conduct a thorough assessment to identify potential vulnerabilities such as weak passwords or outdated systems, or insufficient training among employees. Implement encryption and training. Ensure that sensitive information is encrypted and provide regular cybersecurity training for all employees to keep them informed of the latest security practices. Lastly, continuously monitor and review your cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is an ongoing process, so monitor and review your security measures to stay ahead of emerging threats and ensure your defenses remain effective. These are the tools and easily accessible to you currently. A firewall is a barrier between device and potential threats. Monitor incoming and outgoing traffic. A VPN is a virtual private network which encrypts your internet connection, making it harder to intercept your connection. A password manager generates and stores strong, unique passwords for your accounts. And antivirus software scans your devices regularly for malware and viruses. Now we will play our last video, Securing Remote Work, Building Your Cybersecurity Plan.
Welcome to our comprehensive training on securing remote work, building your cybersecurity plan. In today's connected world, remote work has become more prevalent than ever. But with this change comes significant cybersecurity risks. Without the right protection in place, remote workers and organizations are exposed to a variety of threats, from data breaches to phishing attacks, and even more advanced cyber attacks. In this training, we will explore the dangers of neglecting cybersecurity when working remotely and offer practical steps to create a solid remote work cybersecurity plan. When employees work from home or any remote location, they are often outside the protective network infrastructure of their organization. This leaves them vulnerable to cyber threats that target remote workers specifically, such as insecure Wi-Fi networks, compromised devices, and the lack of strong password protocols. Let's begin by viewing this informative video to learn about the risks associated with inadequate cybersecurity for remote work and how these threats can jeopardize sensitive information. Next, we'll delve into best practices for securing remote work environments and provide a guide on how to build an effective cybersecurity plan. Additionally, we'll showcase practical tools designed to enhance remote cybersecurity. After seeing this video, you'll have a thorough understanding of remote work security that guarantees business continuity in addition to data protection. Now let's begin learning the essential information and useful tactics for protecting your remote workspace.
Welcome to Project Spectrum's an informative video entitled Securing Remote Work, Building Your Cybersecurity Plan. The Dangers of Inadequate Remote Work, Cybersecurity. Remote work creates new entry points for attackers. Let's break down the main threats. 1. Phishing attacks. Cyber criminals often exploit remote workers through cleverly disguised emails or messages that look legitimate but are designed to steal sensitive information. For instance, an email stating, "We are having a virtual happy hour this Friday. Please click here to register." This is only one of many phishing attempts that could cause havoc. 2. Insecure Wi-Fi networks. Many employees work from public places like coffee shops, airports, or even home networks that lack proper security. These networks can easily be breached, allowing hackers to intercept confidential data. 3. Unpatched software. Working from home often means employees are responsible for their own devices. If they do not update software or operating systems regularly, they leave vulnerabilities open to exploitation. 4. Lack of multi-factor authentication, MFA. Without MFA, if a remote worker's password is compromised, the hacker has full access to the organization's systems without any further security checks. Best practices for remote work. After learning about the dangers, let's examine ways to protect your remote workplace. Adhering to these recommended procedures is the first step towards developing a strong cybersecurity plan. Step 1. Secure your network. Start by securing your home Wi-Fi network. This includes changing default passwords, using strong encryption like WPA3, and ensuring your router firmware is always up to date. Step 2. Manage your devices. Make sure your work devices are encrypted and equipped with the latest security software. All operating systems and apps should be regularly updated. Step 3. Implement strong authentication. Enable multi-factor authentication, MFA, across all accounts, particularly when accessing sensitive company data. MFA adds an extra layer of security by requiring a second verification step, such as a code sent to your phone or biometrics like a fingerprint. Step 4. Educate and train employees. Human error is often the weakest link in cybersecurity. Regularly train your employees on how to identify phishing attempts, use password managers, and follow proper protocols for handling sensitive information remotely. Building a remote work cybersecurity plan. After discussing the risks and recommended procedures, it's time to develop a customized cybersecurity strategy for remote work for your company. To develop a plan that guarantees resilience and safety, adhere to these guidelines. Step 1. Assess risks. Conduct a risk assessment to identify which areas of your remote work operations are most vulnerable. This will include examining employee devices, networks, and the types of data being accessed remotely. Step 2. Establish policies. Draft clear cybersecurity policies that cover acceptable use, data protection, and incident reporting. Make sure all employees are aware of these guidelines and the consequences of non-compliance. Step 3. Implement security tools. Make use of tools like virtual private networks, VPNs, to encrypt internet traffic. endpoint security to protect devices, and cloud-based storage with robust encryption to secure sensitive information. Step 4. Monitor and adapt. Cybersecurity threats are constantly evolving. Regularly review and update your cybersecurity plan. Implement monitoring systems to detect potential breaches early, and have an incident response plan in place for when things go wrong. Practical tools for cybersecurity. Let's look at some useful tools that you may use right now to improve the cybersecurity of your remote work. First, Virtual Private Network, VPN. A VPN encrypts your internet traffic, keeping your online activities secure even on public networks. It masks your IP address and ensures data is transmitted.
So it sounds like we're having some technical difficulties from my co-host Candy, but once
Sorry
again,
about
we're
that.
gonna continue. Oh, you're good?
Yeah, sorry about that. I got kicked off. So let's continue. So securing remote work, building your cybersecurity plan. Now let's discuss the vulnerabilities associated with remote work, which include the following. Phishing attacks. Remote workers are often targeted by deceptive emails or messages that trick them into disclosing sensitive information or clicking on malicious links. Unsecured Wi-Fi networks. Connecting to a public or unsecured Wi-Fi networks can expose sensitive data to cybercriminals, making it easier for them to encrypt communications. Unpatched software. Failing to regularly update software and systems leaves devices vulnerable to exploitation by attackers who target known security weaknesses. Lack of MFA. Without MFA, remote work systems are more susceptible to unauthorized access as attackers only need to compromise a single password. Best practices for enhancing security while working remotely. Ensure a secure network. Always use a secure network when connecting to public Wi-Fi. Make sure to use a VPN to safeguard your data. Manage and protect your devices. Regularly update your devices with the latest firmware and software and to ensure that sensitive data is encrypted to prevent unauthorized access. Educate your employees and implement MFA on all accounts to add an extra layer of protection. Additionally, employees on educate employees on cybersecurity practices to help them recognize and avoid potential threats. Developing a cybersecurity plan is crucial to ensuring preparedness against cyber attacks. Follow these essential steps. Assess potential vulnerabilities. Conduct a thorough evaluation of your devices and systems to identify any security weaknesses that could be exploited by attackers. Establish clear policies. Develop and implement policies that ensure both you and your employees are properly protected and educated about the risks of cyber attacks. Implement security tools utilizing effective security tools such as firewalls, encryption, and antivirus software to protect your systems from potential attacks. Monitor and adapt. Cybersecurity is not a one-time effort. Regularly monitor your security measures and adapt to them as needed to address emerging threats. Cybersecurity is an ongoing challenge that demands continuous attention and improvement, and we hope this was very informative. Now I'll pass it back to my co-host, Jonathan.
Thank you, Candy. We will now begin the Q&A section, and it looks like we have a few questions in the Q&A box. So, first question is from what's the difference between a virus, malware, and a worm? So, a lot of these terms can be confusing and they kind of overlap sometimes. But the difference between a virus, malware, and a worm is the malware is a broad term for any malicious software designed to harm a computer system. Whereas a virus is a specific type of malware that attaches itself to a host file, like a program or a document, and then spreads it by infecting other files when the host opens it or executes a program. And it needs a user interaction to spread. Whereas a worm is another type of malware that can replicate itself and spread rapidly across a network without needing a host file, actively searching for vulnerabilities to exploit and infect other systems. What are firewalls and what do they protect from? Or, yeah, that's the question. So, firewall is a network security device that monitors and controls incoming and outgoing network traffic and acts as a barrier between trusted internal network and then untrusted external networks. And it filters data based on predefined security rules to prevent unauthorized access and malicious traffic from entering the system. The next question is, I have a VPN. How can I use it to protect my company's privacy? So a VPN is we could talk a technology that creates a secure and encrypted connection over the internet, essentially masking your IP address and protecting your online activity by routing your data through a remote server, allowing you to browse the web more privately and securely, especially on public Wi-Fi's. So what it does is it hides your, basically it shows your, when cyber criminals are viewing people's activity, they can see someone is using the Wi-Fi or doing something, but they can't see exactly what you're accessing. But even with a VPN, there are still, issues that come up where if a cyber attacker really wants your information, there's ways to get it. But generally speaking, most cyber hackers, once they hit a barrier, they will try someone else. The next question I have is, what are some signs? What are some signs that a network has been compromised? So usually you can tell if something's going wrong by basically understanding how things act normally under normal conditions. So when you see something is fishy or whatnot, you can kind of tell like there's a sluggish performance going on, or there's a lot of pop-ups coming up, or unusual login activity can cause you to, send a flag and say, hey, something's going on. And then if you think something is going on with your computer, have your IT department have a plan set up to know what steps you need to take when a security breach happens. So if that includes changing passwords, running scans, and then also notifying, relevant parties either in-house or out-house, and to help mitigate any damage that you have. Is there any other questions? If you have any questions, please submit them in the Q&A. as I don't see any more questions. If you have any more and you want to send it privately, you can send it to our general info@ctapex.org, and a counselor will reach out to you with a response. You can follow us on CT Apex on social media, including Facebook and LinkedIn. In addition, to registering online at CTPTech or ctapex.org, you can sign up for government contracting assistance and also access our learning library or for various webinars on a variety of topics regarding government contracting. You just need to hit the QR code or visit the website, and you'll have access to that information. Thank you all for attending today's webinar. These slides will be sent out to our CT Apex attendees after this webinar. Please feel free to read our current and past newsletters and events by selecting the links above or visiting ctapex.org.